about your pipe.
Okay, the tubes are airplane grade aluminum, and we buy it in 20-foot lengths, 20 to 24-foot lengths. And then we have to cut it. Louis cuts it, and we have to tune it. And so the tuning comes from the length of the tube, how big around it is, how thick the metal is, and then that tells us, it's a mathematical equation, and it'll tell us where we have to drill our tuning holes. I grind the tops and the bottoms of them, and that all adds into the tuning. And then the clapper has to go a certain distance down from the top, or a certain distance up from the bottom, actually is how I do it. So that's what we do with our tubing. They are plugged. Yes, we have to plug them, because if you didn't plug them, then they wouldn't sound. Yeah, we cannot ring the chimes the way the wind does. There's just no way. We've tried hard, you know. But it's different when the wind does it as opposed to how we do it.
There's a little something here in Edmonds because it's a holiday at the venues.
We buy our stained glass in sheets, and that's all hand cut. So I've had to go through and make patterns for everything. So some pieces, like this is a small piece. This has just the 3 pieces in this. There are some, like this, the dragonflies have 7 pieces in it. This has 7 pieces in it. I draw each piece out, and then I have to hand cut it out first, and then I have to grind it. Not every single piece is the same. And that's what makes us different than other wind chime companies, because we don't not only have the sound, but we also have the visual, you know, and a lot of chimes aren't like that. They're just pretty plain. Why did we start doing it? Louis answered an ad in the newspaper for somebody to do extra work back in the 70s. And the gentleman wanted us to cut pipe. And so Louis went and applied for the job, and he asked the guy, well, what do you make? And the guy said, I make these.
Morning.
And he just unwrapped this paper thing, and it was an ugly wind chime. And it was, at that time, it was brass. And so it was an ugly blue color, you know. We started in brass and copper in the 70s, and in the 90s we moved to just doing all pewter. At that time it was pewter, now it's zinc. And then we moved to doing stained glass because we got tired of the one color, the monotone color. Believe it or not, they're all the same size.
Oh, really?
Yeah, except for these big ones here. Other than that, the booth is exactly the same.
Wow, okay, they're just back there.
They're just back there, and they're hung higher. They're all tuned to the pentonic scale of middle C. And we string with a double-braided nylon cord. It's the same thing that we use in fishermen's nets. And it's embedded with tar that keeps it from rotting in the weather. And our clappers...
You gotta do that here.
Oh yeah, you know, I've replaced a lot of chimes for people restringing their chimes. That's another service that I do. We do everything. We cast our own metal.
Not a
There's
kid's
one
hole.
that's got a wood bottom and it doesn't move in the wind.
You are a true wind chime lover.
Bring it to me and I can take a look at it and see what